come on in, come on in. We are absolutely thrilled that you joined us tonight for this final free webinar before the big event on Saturday. And let me tell you, you are in for a real treat. Ray Patterson, he's our newest business coach, and he has brought so much strength to the Wealth Builders business coaching team. He's also the coordinator at Karis Business School, so I get to work with him in both places. And Ray, you've become one of our favorite podcast guests. That's amazing. Welcome. We're so glad to have you on tonight.
Well, I thank you. I'm delighted to be here and delighted to share this evening. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is really cool. I was just looking at the title, and it's From Stagnant to Soaring, Reclaiming Your Vision as a Christian Entrepreneur. I'll tell you what, this is going to be very helpful. And we all need a little shot in the arm sometimes just to remember, hey, what are we doing as entrepreneurs here? And I think you're all going to get stirred up when you hear Ray. So thank you so much, Ray. I do want to ask everybody that's tuning in just to go ahead and oh, I love this. People are already doing it. I'd love to know where you're from. And so I'm going to give a few shout outs here before we get started. We've got Michael and Anaka. I hope I said that right, from California, or Anaka. We're so glad to have you. Elaine is tuning in from Michigan. Welcome. Lynn, so glad to have you on from Georgia. And Desix, hello. So glad to have you here. Oh my goodness, Betsy. So good to see you. This is great because a lot of the people here are from our coaching family, and Betsy is one of them. We're just thrilled to have you on. Isaiah, oh my goodness, welcome from Singapore. We've got Nadaba from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm headed over there on September 3rd for the Designing Life Conference. I would love to meet you if you're a part of that. It'd be so fun. Nadine, so glad to have you from Canada. Amos, welcome. You are tuning in from Franklin, Tennessee. Oh my goodness, that is where Carly, who you're going to meet tonight, used to work. We've got William tuning in from Phoenix. So glad to have you. Craig and Paula tuning in from Colorado. Welcome. We've got Kristen from Florence, Colorado. So glad to have you on. Nancy. Oh my goodness. Thanks for tuning in from Terrell, Texas. Christy, so good to have you from Kansas. We've got Janice that is tuning in from Spokane, Washington. This is wonderful. So I know a lot of you are just coming in now. So go ahead and enter where you're tuning in from so we can give you a shout out. So we just like to see who's on. We are a family, right? The Wealth Builders family, and we're thrilled to have you. All right, so I'm very excited to share with you something that is brand new to Wealth Builders, and it is called Wealth Builders Network. And you might say, Karen, what is this and why are you doing something new? Well, it's because we kept hearing from all of you that you wanted to connect with people that were like-minded that could help you in your wealth building journey. So, for example, last week we had on Tammy, who's a real estate agent. Today we've got 3 people that are joining us. That's part of the Wealth Builders Network. And we are building a website. So you're going to be able to access this. You'll hear a lot about it. So this is a bit of a preview for you of some of what we call our platinum providers. So the first person I want to introduce you to is Matt. So Matt, we are so thrilled to have Matt. He is a Karis graduate, and he works for a company called Thrivent. And so he really helps with things like life insurance, with financial planning. I know you've got a lot of other services as well. Welcome, Matt, and let everybody know what you do with Thrivent as well as the territories that you work in.
Hey, thanks for having me, Karen. Yeah, I love helping families, helping people get their finances in order, starting with a budget to emergency fund to debt management to saving for retirement, leaving a lasting legacy. Yeah, you guys can reach me through a phone call. So you can reach me at 360-747-1942, or you can send me an email at matthew.commence@thrivent.com.
Awesome. And we know you're not going to remember that, so we're going to put it in the chat. But Matt, one of the things I think is really encouraging, I just remember back when I was getting started, we didn't have a lot of money, we had jobs, and we just really needed someone to help us get our feet on the ground, understand what life insurance we need to. And so Matt works with all levels, whether you're starting out or you're, have some means. And Thrivent is a Christian organization, and they have a great reputation. They do a great job. So thank you so much, Matt. I'm so glad that everybody got to meet you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
next I'm going to introduce to you Noreen. Noreen is the owner of the Good Morning Agency. And she's got this beautiful business, and she works with people that have intellectual and developmental disabilities. So, Noreen, welcome. Noreen's also in our coaching family. Noreen, share with people what you do and who would be a great fit for your organization.
Hello, everybody, and thank you all for being here today. At Good Morning, we are an agency that works with people that have intellectual disability. We are a family away from home. We work with people at different levels, people that cannot stay within their families. So we actually bring them home, put them into homes, give them outings like day programs and things like that. So we work within Colorado. We go as far as Springfield, as far as Arapahoe. We are in Denver. So we cover a big area of Colorado. We are very experienced. We've got people that speak different languages, from Spanish to French to Swahili. So we're a multicultural company, and we are happy to work with different individuals.
Awesome, Noreen. Thank you so much. And this is such a beautiful ministry. So if you know someone that has got an intellectual or developmental disability, this is a place for them to live, to have on-site care. Noreen is licensed. We all celebrated with her when her license came through. And so, Noreen, how can people get a hold of you?
We have our website, which is www.goodmorningagency.org. However, we also have our numbers. Also, we have an email, info@goodmorningagency.org. But our numbers are 720-755-0595. And we look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much, Noreen. And finally, I'm going to bring on Carly and Levi, who are also one of our platinum providers. Many of you know them, of course. This is my son and beautiful daughter-in-law. And we're just so glad to have you two. Thanks for coming on board. And so they've got several companies. And so I'm going to have you guys just explain what you do and then give us your contact information.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we are real estate investors here in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And out of that has come a property management business, a construction company, and an interior redesign company, and a cleaning company that we all own or operate. I would say our biggest focus is on the construction and redesign. So if anyone is either looking to invest in Central Florida and maybe you will come down here and find a house, we'd love the opportunity to be able to fix it up for you and design it. And we can also clean it as well if it is a short-term rental, or if you're living here too, those services would definitely apply to a primary residence as well.
Yeah, and our websites are oceanblueproperties.com or oceanblue.com for the construction renovation design side. So take a look to see how you can either stay with us or work with us.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And also Carly runs a marketing agency called Success Made Simple. And
Yeah.
so we have very limited capacity on that for additional clients. But if somebody is interested and wants a solid team with a biblical foundation, you can also check us out there at I think it's actually info@karenconrad.net.
Yes.
To get a hold of that.
I'll be in touch with you and we can get you started.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Levi and Carly do a great job with these properties, and many people that are in the coaching family have access to go to Boots on the Ground, which is the end of September, and Levi and Carly are a part of that, where we actually go in, we look at properties, we go through the area, and it is in Melbourne Beach, where we're going to cover Cocoa Beach, so that's something for y'all to consider too. Levi and Carly, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye. All right. So this is part of the Wealth Builders is we're really tuned in with you to see what it is that you are looking for. And you're going to hear a lot more, like I said, about this Wealth Builders network, but we love it because it gives people an opportunity to connect with people that are like-minded. And if you have a business that you think could be a good fit for the Wealth Builders family, please email us at info@wealthbuilders.org to learn more about it. And it may be good for you to become a platinum provider as well. And we'll feature you on one of these. So, Ray, we are very excited to hear from you. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ray Patterson.
Why, thank you, Karen. I really appreciate that. This is just an exciting opportunity for me. I enjoy this. One of my favorite topics is talking about vision and the need for vision. And I believe that it is one of the key elements that actually cause people to either excel and soar or end up being stagnated and being stifled. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to share my screen with you. That should be coming up. And welcome. I just appreciate all of you being here. This is absolutely great. So we're going to talk about stagnant to soaring and how do you reclaim your vision as a Christian entrepreneur or just reclaim your vision at all uh, if you are feeling stuck. And these insights that I'm going to share with you, and I want to share some practical ways that you can get unstuck and be more positive on getting on track. So let's go, let's get right on into it and look at why do we get stuck? Why do we go stagnant? You know, there's a lot of people who don't have a vision written down or don't know exactly what God has called them to do. And I can say that from experience because there was a point in my life where I was doing very well and things were going along, but I was just kind of existing and taking what came to me, but not actually capturing or not actually working in what God had called me to do. And we know that God's called each and every one of us. He's called us, He's told us to have dominion, to be fruitful and multiply. He's put desires in us when we were still yet in our mother's womb. And when I talk to people about vision and about being stuck, one of the questions that I ask them are, what brings you joy? What brings joy into your heart? What do you really love to do? What gives you energy? And are you working in that today? And if you're not, I would suggest that you need to have some time to think about and get away and develop your vision of what God's really calling you to do, what really puts joy in your heart. And if you work in that, then you really um, are working in what God's called you to do, and that should bring you energy. I'm going to relate this back to one of my favorite verses, and that's Habakkuk 2:2, where he tells us, write the vision, make it plain upon the tablets or on the tables, so that he who reads it can run with it. And that's telling us several things. One is you need to have it written down, and you're not more than likely going to do it alone. You're going to need people who are helping you, who are supporting you, who are journeying with you. So one of the first things I would suggest is having the vision written. If you don't have the vision written down, then it's fluid. No one else can understand it, and you can very easily get stuck or stagnant. So having the vision written is extremely important. Another important factor is having your vision written and displayed where you see it frequently. And I will tell you, I have mine even to this day on my bedroom wall so that as I'm getting up in the morning, as I'm going to bed at night, as I'm going past it, even to go to the bathroom, I have a chance to stop and pause. And I know my vision well enough that I can almost recite the whole thing, but it's still having it there on the wall where I see it gives me a lot of energy. And it is really helps me understand why I'm doing what I do each day and what brings energy into my life so that I can do what God's called me to do, so that I can see the fruits of uh, the labors that I'm putting into His call. Once you have that vision and you have it where you can see it, do you keep it current? Do you update it? You need to understand that the vision is written at a particular point in time with specific knowledge you have at that time. So the vision is not just a once and done, I write it, there it is, it becomes cast in stone almost. It's not that way. The vision, if it is well written, if it is well done, will carry you forward for a long time. And even though the words are the same, the meaning will change over time. If you are getting a little bit stuck and feeling stuck, you know, you need to come back and rethink about what your vision is, seek out the Lord, and He doesn't want us to be stuck. So He will help show us what we need to be doing now and in the next season. You know, the Holy Spirit didn't tell Saul uh, on the road to Damascus, he didn't give him the whole vision. He gave him part of it and told him what to do next. And in that next phase, he then revealed more of what the vision was about. The same thing happened to me, and I expect it for many of you. The same thing has happened to you. I was 43 years old when I finally figured out what God had really called me to do. And I wrote that vision out, and then I started living it. And as I started living that vision, then He revealed to me next steps and next steps. And the words on the vision stayed the same, but it took on a whole different meaning. So that is something to do. Have the vision written, have it where you can see it frequently and review it, and then have it where you can review it and adjust it based on what you've learned since you've written it. And then if you haven't developed a specific action plan for your vision, that's another way to easily get stuck. I know what it is I want to do. I know where I'm being called to, but I just don't have an action plan to get there. And so that vision cannot really take you to where you want to be, or you're not actually deploying your vision because you don't have developed a specific action execution plan. So those are some of the things that help us get stuck. And I contend that there's another piece that really gets us stuck, and that is the fact that it's what I call the fear factor. So let's look at that. The fear factor is actually, let's look at that in this way. Fear is an acronym. So let's look at what that stands for. The F in fear stands for false. And we a lot of times think that we cannot do what God's called us to do because we're not good enough. Well, that's really false. And the opposite of false is true. What is true? God's put the vision on our heart, and He has helped us to get there. He's helping us to get there. But when we have this fear factor, we have to separate truth from false. And the things that are false are what the devil is trying to get in front of us to keep us from getting where we need to go, where we want to go. So the first letter in fear is false. False evidence, well, evidence is what do we have in front of us? And again, if we're thinking we can't, then we probably won't. You know the old saying, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And as long as you think you can't, you won't. That false evidence, the evidence that the the negative fear that's coming in is trying to get us to believe that we cannot do what we're called to do. The A is appearing. The false evidence as it appears to us, here we have to look at what is, again, truth, what is real truth, and what are we reacting to, right? So we have to understand that in our past, we've been very successful. And we need to think about when that false evidence is trying to convince us that we're not worthy of our vision, that we can't fulfill our vision, we have to go back and look at the times where we've been extremely successful. We've been very successful, and understand what did we bring to that time and make that appear in front of us so that we know that we're dealing with something that is real. So the fear factor, the false evidence appearing real, is a big stumbling block that can cause us to go stagnant and get stuck. So I just want to pause for a moment and say that, you know, as you are thinking about where you are and why you're stuck and why you're stagnant, you want to go back and look at that vision. You want to create the vision if you don't have one. You want to look at that vision and you want to quell that fear factor by understanding what is real truth and what is not, what is false. What is the evidence of the real truth, the fact that I have been successful, I am successful, I can do what's in front of me, and get the appearing of that positive evidence coming into reassuring us that this is real. So don't be trapped by the false evidence appearing real. So we've talked about what's gotten us stuck. We've talked a little bit about what is able to free us, starting with the vision. But now let's explore what are the real action items to move toward soaring? And the first is writing that vision, having that idea, getting into written form what God has really called you to do. Whether it's in your business, your personal life, I contend they're really not separate at all. That your personal life vision should also embody part of your business vision. And your business vision should be driven by what you're personally called to do. But write that vision and make it plain. Let me also add that I believe there's a difference between your uh, business vision and what you publicize, which is very short. Some people will tell you that your business vision should be no more than 8 words or no more than one sentence. And while that is the vision that you publish, I believe there's a very strong case for having what I call the vision story. The vision story describes exactly who you are. It's put in a future date context. Even in Habakkuk, he tells us, write the vision, make it plain upon the tablet, so he who readeth it can run with it. But then he goes on to say it's for an appointed time. The appointed time is not today, it's the future. So your vision needs to be cast 3 to 5 years into the future, and then you foretell the story of what people can expect from you and your business. So you call those things that aren't as though they are. And you do that with the guidance of the Holy Spirit and what He's called you to do. That's what He's put on your heart. So you write that vision for a future time, and then you can begin to work on developing once you have the vision, which is for an appointed time, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, then you can look at that vision and say, okay, what do I need to be doing today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next quarter to make this vision begin to become reality? So you develop a very specific action execution plan with tasks or projects and tasks underneath those projects. And then you prioritize those tasks and projects. And you see in this slide that there's a Gantt chart, a timing chart off to the side. That's where you would prioritize your tasks and projects to begin to make progress toward your vision by these specific action plan uh, projects and tasks. And you put specific dates to those tasks and projects, and that drives you to accomplishment. Now, sometimes when you're developing those project plans and tasks, you brainstorm what needs to be done. You put those in a priority sequence and in an urgency sequence. And as you begin to look at them, you say, oh, there's other things I need to do so that I'm equipped to do the rest of this project. Well, you need to go back and add those other tasks to your project plan. It becomes a living document. Some people are very natural at creating the vision, and it's very difficult for them to create the action plan. Other people, it's very easy to plan steps, but they need the context to put those steps into. And that brings me to the importance of having a coach and having a team around you. And at Wealth Builders, that's a big part of what we do. And you will see that All of these things will help you get into the game and build the point to where you want to go. And so I want to remind you and make a call here for you to sign up for the Marketplace Mission workshop that's coming up this Saturday. Here's where you can register for that and join us at that important event, that 1 day event. It's going to be very exciting. And I would also point out that at Wealth Builders, part of our services are the Wealth Builders coaching, which you can gain more information on and contact info@wealthbuilders.org, and they will also help set you up for that. So that's what I wanted to share with you this evening. I'm going to back up here to a chart or two, but these are the things that I believe are the real action steps to move from stagnant to soaring, making sure that you have that vision, that you know that there is what you're called to, you know what gives you energy, and you've got the specific action steps to achieve that. Uh, and whenever you get stuck, it's time to call in the coaches. So with that, I'm going to invite Karen back in, and I'll leave my screen up. But Karen, if
Great. Thank you so much, Ray. I really appreciate this because a lot of times in Christian circles, we don't want to admit that we're stagnant or stuck, right?
amen.
But it is just part of life. And I like how you have got things that you're just practically telling us to do to get unstuck. That was absolutely awesome. I want to invite you to, Ray and I are going to answer questions for you, as many as possible here in our time remaining. So if you've got a question on this topic or any business topic, I want to invite you to go ahead and enter that question into the chat. And as you're doing that, I do want to share with you on Saturday. We've got a full day planned. Ray's a part of it. My husband Dave, Bill Bronchek, Jeff Vanderwall is going to be a part of it. I'm teaching some sessions. It is Frank Pulley's going to be there. It is a full day, and some of the sessions are, uh, expanding your heart to be able to actually get that new wineskin, to be able to
Amen.
receive what God has for a business. There's so many people, Ray, that you and I have talked to that say, God's called me to fund millions of dollars into the kingdom, or God's given me this amazing business idea. But unfortunately, there's an offense there, or there is, a wound, or maybe just small thinking, where we have not been exposed to big thinking, where we hear the promises of God, but we're not able to actually expand or change out that wineskin to be able to go where he's called us. So we're going to address these types of things and give you steps. Dave's going to do a session on supernatural business. Ray's talking about the business model canvas. Bill Bronchick is going to talk about the legal aspects. We've got a really fun game that we're going to be doing with you. Jeff is going to talk about AI and kingdom strategy. There's actually 6 workshops, and you can choose 2 of those. It's just going to be a great day. And really, best of all, Billy and Becky are going to kick us off in the morning. So Billy's going to do the first session. So it's going to be a really fun day, and we've priced it really well for you. So I really encourage you to be a part of this. And of course, if you're in our coaching family, which many of you are, you get to attend this completely free of charge. Our events for people that have been in coaching or in coaching are free for life. And it's just a great connection point. So I encourage you to be a part of that. All right. So we do have some questions coming in, Ray. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this to you to answer first. And then if I have something to add to it, I will. Michael,
Please.
this is such a great question. Michael is saying, please differentiate between vision and mission. And he thanks you ahead of time for connecting business and God's word.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you. And that is a great question. And many people get these confused. Um, and unfortunately, in the business consulting world, a lot of times even the consultants will confuse these. So I'm going to give you uh, my angle on it, and that is this. The mission, the mission statement that you would have in a business is why the mission statement says, why are you in business? It is the what do you produce? What are you my mission might be as a I'm coming up with an example here, but my mission is to help organizations achieve what they really want to accomplish. Okay. So if I'm a business consultant, which I am, and I work in the area of strategic planning, my mission is to help those businesses understand what is their product and service and why are they in business versus the vision, which is what can people expect from you and from your business? Like, how do you operate your business? So the vision is about what people can expect in dealing with you. The mission is the why you're in business. If I'm a bakery, I'm in the business to bake goods for people. My vision can be different. My vision is that I make high-end desserts for a very select customer base, perhaps, and my vision for the company includes my relationship with my customers, my relationship with my employees, my relationship with my suppliers. How do I support my community? And how do I run my business as a godly business based on the principles that God gave us for running the business? That's all contained in the vision. And thus you can see why I talk about a vision story versus the mission, which is a very succinct, I'm in the bakery business. I deliver certain baked goods. It could be pies and pastries, it could be breads, but you begin to, I hope, catch the difference there. So that's the way I would frame it. Karen, bail me out.
No, I think that's really good. There's a lot of ways to approach vision. I think, Andrew, his vision for AWM and Karis is to go as far and deep with the gospel as possible. It just sort of says like, hey, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's my purpose? What's the end result? And I love the missions, like how you go about what you're doing. Like this is how we deliver on the vision. So, Ray, that was absolutely great. I've got another question for you. This is very good. This is from 10 Day. Good to see you. 10 Days in our Wealth Builders coaching family. And she says, what is your opinion on using AI to help us with getting unstuck?
That is a great question. And I will answer it this way. I'm learning a lot about AI, and we can use AI to help us craft documents, to help us expand our thinking. And I think it's a very, very useful tool for that. But my caution is this: be sure that what AI returns to you fits your situation, fits the way you think. So you may have to ask AI, your AI tool, um, to reiterate, to improve, to give it more information so that it helps you think. Now, that I think is a very good use of AI for that. Another area of AI that I'm exploring is actually to get AI to be an interrogator of me. I give it a situation and then I say, ask me 4 to 5 questions, one at a time, to help bring clarity to what I'm trying to convey. Instead of just asking it to rewrite it, uh, ask it to be your coach, your thought partner. And I see where Fran just made a comment, and it's right on track. There's a book that I've been reading that I highly recommend. It's called The AI Driven Leader by Jeff Wood. And I find this book to be every bit as much a leadership book as it is an AI book. So it really helps to bring critical thinking back into the C-suite. So excellent question. AI is certainly a good tool, but we have to remember it's a tool, not something we just take and blindly follow. We still have to make the decisions.
That's so good, Ray. Thank you so much. And again, Jeff Vanderwall is going to be teaching a session on this at the Marketplace with a Mission conference on Saturday, and he uses it in his business. He is the CEO of ClearShift. It's an incredibly prosperous business. And he also teaches at the business school on that topic. And Ray, you've done a great job of digging in. We have conversations all the time about AI. And I think it's not something to be afraid of. It's something for us to embrace, but know how to use it, which you described beautifully. Okay, Michael has a question. He said, you mentioned business model canvas. Can you please elaborate on this?
I can. I'll give you the typical consultant's answer. Sign up and we'll teach you. No, it's
We are
the
talking about it on Saturday.
we will be, and we'll be actually doing a couple of sessions, one describing the business model generation canvas or the BMGC or the business model canvas, all the same thing. You can do web search and find it, but the way we deploy it is very specific. But it is a one-page business plan, a one-page business model. I like to call it the business model question generator because it's in 9 quick segments. You've got your value proposition, you've got your customer focus, you've got your channels, you've got your relationships that drives revenue, and then you have your key activities, which then require key resources, and it helps you identify key partners. And that's all the cost side of your business. And so that drops to the bottom line cost structures. So in one page, you have your business central idea with your marketing and sales and your revenue and your operations, which drive your costs. So you've got your business, your marketing, your operations, and your finances all on one page to get it started. So it's a tremendous thinking tool. And that's what we teach at the business school, how to use it. And that's what we deploy at Wealthbuilders with our coaching clients. That's a piece of much more that we do. But that's the quick answer.
That's really good. I like to call it too, like the one-page business plan. It's like incredibly effective. And so Ray, thank you. And by the way, Ray is like a master at it. So
Thank you.
incredibly effective, and Ray is such a great teacher with it. Gosh, that's so good. All
It
right.
is. I'll just quickly add, it is a good tool once you get the business model in your mind. It's the good elevator pitch.
Mhm.
It's also the good business idea evaluator. So it has a lot of utility.
That's really good. And it is the main model that the Karis Business School is built on. And that
Exactly.
Billy is like that made that decision. And so I'm just telling you, like, some of us don't have time. We can't go to Karis, we can't leave our businesses. go to 3 years of school. And so Wealth Builders is kind of coming alongside that for people to help
Mhm.
get you to the next level. And tell you a good start is to attend this event on Saturday. And Ray mentioned coaching too. We have, I think, the best business coaching program and real estate coaching around. It's all biblically based, and we walk you through things, and we have seen incredible results with people. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can go to wealthbuilders.org, click on coaching, and it's intensive. It's not for everybody. It's for people that are serious about wanting to move to the next level. It's we don't do the work for you, but we definitely give you the guidance for you to do the work on your business. And so if you are like at that point where I've got to do something, I need to go to the next level. Business coaching is something that you should probably take a look at. And of course, Ray is on that team along with Frank Pulley, me, and my husband Dave, and Bill Bronchick comes in and helps
Amen.
too. So, all right, this has been really great, Ray. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
explaining this to us. I believe that there's a lot of people that are going to be motivated, like, hey, I'm going to get out of this stagnation. I'm going to get unstuck. And many of you, I think, too, will join us on Saturday. And we just can't wait for that event. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, thank you so much for joining us. Tune into our podcast every week. Go to Wealth Builders YouTube channel. Our podcast has grown substantially. We've got all these people that you see, our guests on there. And we just love and appreciate you so much. Billy and Becky send their love to you, and they can't wait to see you on Saturday morning. God bless you and have a great rest of your evening. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.